Thank you for joining us for today's Bible reading. As you know, we're in, or you may not know, but we're in a series called What Makes Jesus Mad? And we're looking at the things that make Jesus mad because it shows us the things that he cares about, and hopefully then we can start to care about the things that Jesus really cares about. And this week, we're going to see that Jesus, he cares about honesty, he cares about integrity, and he cares about authenticity. So let's look at our passage from Matthew chapter 23. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You give a tenth of your spices, mint, dill, and cumin, but you've neglected the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. You should have practiced the latter without neglecting the former. You blind guides, you strain out a gnat, but swallow a camel. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and dish, and then the outside also will be clean. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You are like whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of the bones of the dead and everything unclean. In the same way, on the outside you appear to people as righteous, but on the inside you are full of hypocrisy and wickedness. And those are definitely some strong words from Jesus. He tells the religious leaders that they're hypocrites, that they look good on the outside, but inside they're full of death. And as a pastor, this passage is pretty jarring for me. Jesus tends to reserve his harshest criticism for religious leaders. So whenever I read something like this, I'm like, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to make Jesus mad at me. See, the religious leaders, that they were supposed to help people get closer to God, but they were hypocrites. They looked good on the outside, but inside they were far from God. And if they couldn't be honest about their own struggles, about their own pitfalls, then how could they help anybody get closer to God? And the reality is, like, nobody likes a hypocrite. Nobody likes somebody who says one thing and then does another. And so many people, in fact, they say they're not even interested in Christianity because Christians are such hypocrites. And there's a difference between being a hypocrite and just being like, look, like I stand up here and I'm like, do this. And very often I'm not doing those things. But I'm honest. Like, I'm trying to follow Jesus better every single day. And I'm not perfect. I'm not great at it, but I'm trying. That's not being a hypocrite. That's just being honest. But the hypocrisy comes when he says, like, well, I'm so great. Look at the outside. I'm so great. I'm amazing. That there's a pride that comes with hypocrisy. When we pretend that we're better than we are. And so people aren't turned off by honesty, they're turned off by hypocrisy. And so you might be watching this today, and you might be turned off by the hypocrisy you've seen in some Christians, and I'm sorry for that. That's not who Jesus calls us as his followers to be. We're supposed to strive to be better, we're supposed to strive for perfection, but we're supposed to be honest, like, look, we all need grace just as much as anybody else. And maybe you're watching this morning or today, whenever you're watching it, and you are a follower of Jesus, and you realize that maybe you've just been pretending, that you want to keep a good look on the outside, and you want to be honest about what's going on inside. But when we pretend to be better than we are, we're just wrestling with pride. And if we're wrestling with pride, if we think we're better than we are, then why do we need Jesus? Why do we need grace? I think that's why Jesus rails against the hypocrisy of the religious leaders. They thought they were so much better than everybody else. They thought they were so much better than everybody else that they didn't need God. They didn't need grace. And so what would it look like for you today to just be honest about where you're at? Be honest about the great things that God is doing in your life. Be honest about the great ways that God created you. But also be honest about the ways in maybe which you missed the mark. The ways that you need grace to help you keep moving forward. It's not about pretending like we have it all together, because we don't. It's about recognizing that we don't have it all together, but by God's grace, the grace that he pours out on us through Jesus Christ, we can continue moving forward. How can you embrace that grace today? Avoiding hypocrisy, being honest about who you are, and moving closer to God because of it. Thanks for joining us today. Talk to you real soon.